The next Minecraft game drop / update is set to release in June, and in this video I'll cover everything we know so far. Goddav, my name is MagentaLewi and welcome to another Minecraft update video. If you don't want to miss out on any essential updates to Minecraft, but don't want to waste your time on videos about bug fixes and code changes and every single snapshot, subscribing to my channel is the perfect way to only get the news worth knowing, and it also helps a small YouTuber grow. I quickly want to mention that if you didn't watch my Minecraft Live 2025 Spring Recap video, this might seem like the first video covering the summer drop, but in that video I already covered what was revealed at Minecraft Live. With that said, in this video I'll probably show all these new features and of course also the last two snapshots, new details, features and additions to what was revealed at Minecraft Live. Let's start with the biggest, coolest, awesomest news of them all, which is of course the Happy Ghast. In the Nether's Soul Sand Valleys, there's now a chance of finding a dried ghast in the Nether fossils. The dried ghast here can be mined instantly with any or no tool at all and picked up just like any other block in the game. This new living block can also be crafted with 1 bone block and 8 ghast tears. Not 9, but 8. Besides being a cool and cute decoration on its own, the dried ghast will undergo a transformation if waterlogged. Every 5 minutes it will hydrate into a new stage, visually represented by developing a smile and turning brighter in color. If the water is removed, the opposite transformation takes place, turning it darker and sadder again. The rehydrated dried ghast cannot be picked up or stay in that state, but it will return to either the dried ghast or transform into the Ghastling if left in the water for 20 minutes. The Ghastling spawns with 10 hearts and it will idle around within 32 blocks from its home position, which is the block where it spawned. If a player or an adult non-aquatic passive mob is near it, it will follow them within a 16 block radius. The Ghastling will reset its home position if it's moved more than 16 blocks away from its idle area of the original home position. You can also reset its home position by interacting with it elsewhere, and that exact block will then become its new home position. What are you doing there, buddy? The Ghastling can be tempted with snowballs, and feeding it the snowballs will speed up its growth. Without any snowballs, the Ghastling will grow into a Happy Ghast after 20 minutes. The Happy Ghast also has 10 hearts and can be ridden by up to 4 players at once if equipped with a harness. The harness is crafted with 3 leathers, 2 glass and 1 wool of any color. The harness can be unequipped using the shears, and the harness can also be colored with any dye after being crafted. As you can see here, when a player mounts the Happy Ghast, the goggles fall down to cover the eyes, and the first player to mount will sit in front and control the Happy Ghast. The third-person camera is moved back a little bit when mounted on a Happy Ghast to be able to see it all. And the player can also stand on the Happy Ghast, and when doing so, the Happy Ghast will stop all movement. If all players fall off the Happy Ghast, it will descend a little bit to the ground before starting to idle around again, just like before. The Happy Ghast idles around within 64 blocks of its home position, and if harnessed, it idles around within 32 blocks of the home position. And remember, the home position is where it was last interacted with. It will also always stay close to blocks and not go too high, so it's possible for players to interact with it again. All Happy Ghasts can be lured with snowballs, and unharnessed Happy Ghasts can be lured with the harness. It has no panic behavior when it's damaged. It slowly regenerates health quicker when in rain, snow or at the same height as the clouds, and they cannot be bred. And that's everything you need to know about the Happy Ghast for now, because there is more news about them since the last snapshot, but we'll get back to that later in the video. While gliding, a firework can only be used to boost your flight and not accidentally launch it from the ground like you do when you're standing on the ground. Leads have in the latest snapshot also gotten a huge upgrade. Besides a slight visual change, the leashes are now way more stable, especially when attached to entities that are not on the ground. This will make it way more easy to fly around with mobs, but it has changed so that if you ever use firework whilst having something leashed, it will instantly snap the lead. Before that was possible, but inconsistent to say the least. Before, the leash snapping distance would have been 10 blocks, but now it has increased to 12 blocks before snapping. Leashes can now also be used to lead mobs together, and when holding multiple leashed entities, shift-clicking another entity will leash them all to that entity. So let me show you. If I take this one and this one and this one, now they're all leashed to me, but then if I shift-click over on this donkey here, they will all be leashed to that one. All leashes attached to an entity can now be unattached with the shears. Boats, horses, donkeys, mules, camels, and sniffers that cannot fit in the boat can now be leashed to a happy ghast, making it super easy to move mobs and chests over big distances, either with chest boats or a camel or a mule with a chest. When leashing a happy ghast, the snapping distance is 16 blocks. This of course means that by leashing all these happy ghasts to me and then leashing chest boats or sniffers or whatever you want to move, but especially things that can have chests, you can actually have like a lot of storage with you when flying through the sky. This is just so cool. I can transport my full starter base to my main base location, for an example. The firefly bushes now produce more noticeable particles. The blaze and the breeze spawn eggs have been put down into the medium category, so they are not as big anymore. And the regular ghast has also gotten like a visual change to have a better quality of resolution, just like the happy ghast. Still in the experimental part of the game is the Locator Bar, and as you can see here, in survival in a single player world, this is of course the experiment bar as it's always been. But as soon as we have somebody join the world, it turns into this Locator Bar, as you can see here. And of course what this Locator Bar is, as you can see, is help us locate friends in a multiplayer world. So when I look around here, there is nothing on the Locator Bar, but as soon as we get in the direction of where Silverin is standing, he shows up on the Locator Bar. And it also works like this, that when you look up and he is no longer in the screen, there will be a small arrow pointing down. And the same is of course the case if we look down, then the arrow will be pointing upwards. So that is a neat way to always find your friends when you are playing on a multiplayer world. If charging a jump with one of the jumping or charging mobs, it will shortly disappear, as will the experience bar get back when you gain experience, but after a short while, the Locator Bar will pop back up again. Crouching or invisible players and players wearing hats or carved pumpkins will not be visible on the Locator Bar either. And it's actually quite cool how we can see here, since Silverin is the only other player in this world, as soon as he crouches, you can see how the Locator Bar instantly turns into the experience bar again. And it is also only spectators that can locate spectators with the Locator Bar. All of this can be toggled on and off, team colors can be attributed to the dots on the bar, mobs and locations can also be added to the Locator Bar, and so on. So it's a very useful tool for multiplayer worlds. Finally, I shortly want to mention Vibrant Visuals, the built-in official shaders that players will be able to toggle on and off in the settings of this new update. So far it's only been added to Bedrock Edition, and they're still working really hard on how it's going to look in its final state. For that reason I will not cover it in more detail in this video, but there's your reason for subscribing so you don't miss when I cover that as well. And with that, I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, then please do leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and comment your favorite new feature of the coming game drop. Please also check out the description down below for links to my bonus content, my Discord community, and also my Patreon with exclusive content and influence for everyone supporting me financially on my way to becoming a full-time content creator. With all that out of the way, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!